The King's Affection is a historical love comedy from South Korea that came out in 2021. Dam-I, portrayed by Park Eun-bin, and Jung Jae-woon, played by Rowoon, Nam Yoon-soo, Choi Byung-chan, Bi Yoon-kyung, and Jung Ki-yeon are just a handful of the actors who appear in this TV show. Welcome to K-Drama Flash. In today's video, we will be talking about the famous South Korean television series, The King's Affection. From October 11 through December 14, 2021, every Monday and Tuesday at 21:30 KST, KBS 2 broadcasted the first 20 episodes of The King's Affection. The show is currently streaming on Netflix in a few locations, so you can watch it online. The setting for the story is in the midst of the Joseon era, at a time when twins were thought to be a bad omen. Therefore, an order was issued to kill the crown princess consort's daughter since people thought it was a terrible sign when she gave birth to twins. The infant is sent out of the castle after pretending to die in order to save her life. A few years later, the identical daughter Dam-I comes back to the palace to serve as a maid. When the male twin, Lee Hwi, Dam-I's brother, is tragically killed due to an identification mishap. And after realizing her daughter was the court maid, their mother convinces her to replace Lee. After assuming her brother Lee persona for 10 years, Dam-I was able to keep her secret hidden and finally advanced to the position of crown prince. Dam-I is taught to control her emotions and avoid forming intimate relationships with people in order to keep her secret. Lee was known as the Ice Prince because of her icy and contemptuous appearance and the fact that she had easily adjusted to life in the palace. She keeps her distance from everyone in an effort to keep the crown from fully collapsing. But as she becomes closer to her teacher Jae-woon, who was also a childhood friend and the object of her first crush, that proves to be more difficult said than done. He is both attractive and intelligent, and he hails from a noble family. For the remainder of its run, the show mixes romance, drama, and action as the couple gets closer. The King's Affection stands out among the numerous historical dramas that have been broadcast this year thanks to its intriguing plot. Or, at the very least, the gender-bender element in the series and monarchs made it generally more attention-grabbing. And the fact that a member of royalty was made to pose as a man attracted a lot of interest. Despite this, the first 2 episodes of the series were devoted to setting up the plot. It did a good job of building anticipation. And the series' opening act undoubtedly did not disappoint. And, as was already noted, it does take some time for everything to come together in The King's Affection. Hwi's elevation to the throne and her interactions with intrusive family members and foreign envoys are largely the focus of the first 6 or 7 episodes. Although still enjoyable, this doesn't quite fit the romantic theme. The subsequent episodes after its opening week quickly dive into how the sad events of our main protagonists affected their present selves. Jae-woon spent the most of his years as far away from Hanyang as he could, while the once bright Dam-I transformed into the chilly crown prince Lee. Being able to observe a female lead character in a position of authority in a historical drama was actually rather refreshing. Additionally, the forced proximity trope that was employed to build the romantic relationship between Jae-woon and Dam-I is endearing. The King's Affection undoubtedly delivered an exceptional, top-notch main lead performance, along with a solid supporting cast that helped the series' story have a commendable run. Let's start with Park Eun-bin, who convincingly portrayed the roles of a prince, king, princess, and commoner. All of this demonstrated Park Eun-bin's flawless acting skills and her versatility. She must act out the life of her twin brother while portraying the frigid prince. She demonstrates that she deserves the kingdom even while pretending to be a prince by substantially exuding the charm of a royal through her battle prowess. Changing from a masculine Lee to Dam-I, since essentially everyone in her inner circle has known her secret from the beginning. She has the freedom to be feminine. Eun-bin displayed the feelings and gestures of the characters of Lee and Dam-I in an excellent manner. The latter half of this season is actually when things pick up, with some last-ditch action bursts and masterfully crafted romance. Park Eun-bin's performance as Hwi helps. She is immensely likable and adds a terrific combination of heart, steely-eyed drive, and persistence to her character, similar to her lead role in Do You Like Brahms? However, that doesn't negate the charm of the other supporting players, all of whom are worth watching, particularly Jae-eun, who has quite the voyage this season. The supporting cast in this drama is similarly appealing, with Choi Byung-chan, a K-pop singer who transitioned to acting, giving an excellent performance as Ga-eun despite speaking very little. His body language and facial expressions are sufficient to fully support his narrative and effectively convey the feelings he is expressing. Many others experienced Ji-second-un's lead syndrome. He is a character that is committed to Lee. He has such selfless thoughts that he has never once put his needs before Lee's security. I believe it was a great blessing for Lee to have him by her side. My heart was broken by seeing him standing alone on that hill. At least he was surrounded by Lee's reliable individuals during his role. People around Lee are just as devoted as Ji-eun. Since Lee, court lady Kim, Bae Kyun-ju, and Yoona Chong, Ko Kyu-pil, had a long history together, it makes sense that they will remain close until the very end. Despite having a hidden agenda at first, Kim Ga-eun, Choi Byung-chan, eventually swore allegiance to Lee. Observing the exchanges between Ga-eun and Hyun-seol was equally fascinating. The king's affection tells us to be distinct and unique when we feel like hiding to fit in because we are braver than we thought we were. The core idea of this series is that we can find pleasure by staying true to who we are.